Alrighty. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Happy Friday, March 7th, 2025. And we've got Power Slap 12 going live tonight from Las Vegas, Nevada. Power Slap 12. Big card. I love the card today. Not as big as I would say as Power Slap 11, but still a really decent fight. A really decent card with a hell of a main event in Quinones and Bordeaux number 2. Beyond excited for it. We're going to get to all of it in a moment. Before we go any further, though, do just want to take a moment. Shout out to our 508 incredible followers here on Rumble, our 200 over on YouTube, and everyone over on X. We appreciate each and every single one of you, all the love and support. And if you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit that follow button. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I had my notes set up, with the card and everything. At least how Power Slap presented the card. And so the lines are all over the place where everyone is slotted. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from my notes. And so it might be out of order, but this is how my notes are. And it's too much I'm not going to lie. My notes are kind of sloppy, so it's hard to figure out which fight I'm talking about. So I'm going to go in my order. But let's go ahead and jump into it. First night on the card, we do have a 3-round middleweight action with Wesley, all the smoke drain, going up against, I'm going to butcher this, Khalil, the Chief. Kanekoa. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but hey, it happens. You do have Wesley there on the money line, minus 140. The Chief looking at plus 105. Wesley touting a pretty solid 5-4 record in Power Slap. He's got 2 KOs in the first round with another one in the second. And one thing I like about this kid, his losses came from decision. And so we're not going from he's not a knockout guy. He's not going to get rocked. He's got a strong chin, which I do think goes really well into Wesley's favor here. Again, 5-4 in Power Slap. I like his technique. And he does it like a nice little slow wind up and then just really snaps it through. I love what he's doing and how he's been performing. The Chief, on the other hand, Khalil, has had a little bit of some trouble, 2-2 right now in Power Slap. He's got 2 KOs in round 1 and round 2, respectively, but lost as 1 KO and then getting a DQ as well. So too many fouls within that match. Man, it was a tough one. And I know the Chief has the power behind him to get it done. I am just worried about his chin. Whenever I feel like I watch him in a match, it just looks like he gets rocked a little too easy. And memory, what have you done for me lately? You got knocked out last time, brother. It happens. But give me Wesley all the smoke drain for the minus 140 right now. I had it at minus 125 earlier today, but hey, lines move. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do? All right, next one on the card that I have. We've got a lightweight matchup, 3 rounds going. Anthony the King DeFrank, number 4 in the world right now in Power Slap. And then Riley Slap Shady Montoya, who is an easy early candidate here today with best nickname of the night. Slap Shady. That's solid. I like that a lot. Anthony sitting at minus 180 on the money line. Montoya at plus 135. And I got to say, Anthony, he is 1-1 in Power Slap right now, one with a KO in round 1 and also lost with a round 3 KO. And so he does have a little bit of a chin, but you catch him just right, he's going to have some issues. Montoya coming into this looking for his first win in Power Slap as he's 0-2 right now with the decision and then a knockout there, participating in Road to the Title 3. Along with Anthony DeFrank, but I like this. I like the King a lot, DeFrank a lot. I think he has been really solid as a striker in the matches that I've seen him in, and he's got the chin to back it up. And so I think this is going to be a nice one for him. Give me DeFrank on the money line, minus the 180. We like that. We like that a lot. And honestly, he's a little bit taller too. And he uses that length to his advantage. I mean, seriously, in a sport that is, just starting to expand, just starting to grow, talk about a young star in the making here with Anthony DeFrank. Absolutely love what he does when he gets out there to the podium. What a dog. Whoops. What am I doing? There we go. This one, I've called now the Battle of the Chris's. The Battle of the Chris's, as we have Christopher KO Chris Thomas, number 4, right now in the welterweight division, going up against Christopher Full Metal DeBow. This is a welterweight matchup, as I mentioned. Third rounds here. DeBow will be slapping first. I forgot to mention that earlier. DeBow is slapping first. In our other 2 matchups, DeFrank is slapping first against Slap Shady Montoya. And then the Chief, Kanakoa, will be slapping first against Wesley Drain. So keep that in mind as we are going through here. It is something that matters, especially when you talk about handicapping power slaps and making sure those guys got the chins. But let's talk about DeBow first. DeBow sitting at plus 210 on the money line right now. Thomas sitting at the minus 280. So Thomas, a very heavy favorite here. And I see why he's a big, heavy favorite here. 4-2 in his power slap career. All W's are round 1, round 2 knockouts. He goes in and he gets the job done early, which I do really like about him. His 2 losses are coming from Emmanuel Muniz and Anthony Blackburn, who have been 2 of the shining stars, in my opinion, in this welterweight division, which is a bum. But, it was kind of when he took that step to fight a Muniz, to fight a Blackburn, that his performance started to drop a little bit. And so that does concern me going into this matchup against DeBow. DeBow, though, 2-2 in power slap, and all of his bouts, all of them have gone to decision, which is something that I love for his chin, especially with this, the power Thomas has behind his slap. But that means he did fight Emmanuel Muniz, and he did take Muniz to decision too. And we all know that slap Muniz has coming out of there. And so he's got a great chin and has great power in his slaps. And I think that's what it's going to be. And when I talk about how good his slap is, like, it's one of those things that everyone kind of slaps in the same way, but it's the small differences that really make a difference. And one thing I really noticed about his is that when he does wind up, he does get all the way back there, but he does not take his eyes off the target until that contact is made, leading to less fouls and making sure that he hits the money spot where he needs to. And that, I think, is going to be big for him. Give me let me get the nickname right. Christopher Full Metal DeBow at the plus 210. This is one of my biggest dogs of the day going into Power Slap 12. And there's always a couple big upsets, and I think I've sniffed out the upsets that we're looking for. And seriously, I mean, DeBow's he's got some power. Oh, he has got some power. Let me tell you something, brother. Next matchup that we are going to be going with, Dorian Disturbing the Peace Perez going up against Pano, the Hawaiian Assassin Pau. Perez is number 1 right now in the heavyweight division, with Pau sitting there at 5. It's a 3-round fight here. Perez will be slapping first. Let's start with him then. If he's slapping first, he's 3-3 in his power slap career, with 2 KOs and a decision win. Losses off of 2 decisions as well, and a disqualification. So that happens. But striking first with that power that he has with early KOs definitely gives him an advantage there. Pano, a little bit newer to this power slap scene, 2-1, both with KOs in round 2 and 1, so getting the job done early. And then, but he has taken a KO, and so that does worry me. But it doesn't worry me enough. His stature, his neck, I like the Hawaiian Assassin a lot in this matchup tonight. Give me Pano Pau plus the 135 on the money line. I think we're getting some nice odds here. Just because the books, especially, they haven't seen a lot out of these guys. These guys that have had 6, 8, 10 matches, it's easier to put a line on them and figure all of that out. But a guy that's newer to this league of power slap, it's going to leave you to some good lines, kind of like betting on mid-majors in college basketball. The book doesn't really care about it, but hey, they're going to put a lineup for you, so you might as well take advantage of it. By the way, go check out my dog of the day over on X for college basketball tonight. Anyway, getting to a women's match today. This one's a fun one. It's a fun one whenever the first time she was out, and I think it's going to be another fun one here tonight. We got Paige 12 gauge Van Zandt going up against Michelle Brown. Ooh, you want to know my MGP? I got you, brother. You want to know my two favorite picks? We've already talked about them. I love Ponapau at plus 135 and Christopher DeBow at plus 210. I think those are really aggressively priced lines, and I think that they're going to get the job done. I just talked about those about 3 minutes ago, so you can go and get my full breakdown on those fights, excuse me. Got one more in the main event that I'm absolutely loving, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, Paige Van Zandt going up against Michelle Brown. Van Zandt 1-0-1 in her power slap career. Now, her MMA career, it is what it is. We know what she is. We know what chin she has. We've seen the toughness out of her. 1-0-1. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if this fight does go to a draw or goes to decision. And why do I mean that? Brown, not a lot of experience here in power slap, 1-0, but in that matchup, her first matchup, the name is escaping me right now who she fought, but the big thing for me between these two is they're flinching. And when Michelle took those slaps, she was stone cold, brother. She was stone cold, sitting there like a freaking statue just waiting to be slapped, and got slapped and just ate them all up. Van Zandt, on the other hand, getting called for a couple more flinches in her second bout than her first, but definitely a big concern for me is I think excuse me, let me go ahead and finish. I think Michelle wins this one of two ways. I think she wins it either by decision and landing the best strikes, or she wins it because Paige Van Zandt is fouling, and that is going to be an issue for her unless she has gotten that under control. That is to be seen. But if you can't tell by my analysis, I'm going with Michelle Brown. I do like her a lot and what she did in her first matchup, and I think she's going to go ahead and put a big win on her. A big win on her resume here tonight. Give me her plus the 245. Absolutely love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, there it is. All right. In your semi-main event here, we have a lightweight title match, 5 rounds going. Robert the Real Deal Trujillo going up against Dakota the Maritime Menace McGregor. And no, it's not that McGregor, but he will be striking first in this one. So let's go ahead and talk about him first, huh? Dakota McGregor, 2-0 in power slap with round 2 KOs. So, hey, he can get in there, and he's got the power behind it. And his chin's not too bad either. He was eating up the slaps that he was dishing out, and so you got to respect that. Robert Trujillo, though, really the king of the lightweight division. I mean, Road to the Title 3 was built around the fact of trying to rebuild this lightweight division because Trujillo just went through everybody, and I mean everybody in sight, and this is a tough one. It's a tough one because I think you have what has been, such a pillar in power slap in Trujillo, and then this young up-and-comer in Dakota McGregor. And McGregor's got it, but Trujillo 4-0 in power slap with 3 KOs, and then there was a ref stoppage for injury. And he's still competing in MMA. And the thing I found about his MMA career, all of his losses are either by decision, and then he's got one submission where he tapped. And so he's not getting knocked out. We know that chin's going to be there, and I think in a 5-round match here, it's going to be experience that takes it. And I think this is a been there, done there before type thing. Give me Trujillo minus the 195 on the money line here. I think he has potential to get, Dakota sleeping in round 3, round 4, and get that late knockout there. If this goes to 5 rounds, though, I'm expecting this to go to decision. And what I've seen out of Trujillo, that the form and everything is going to keep him on top. So give me Trujillo on the money line minus the 195. And that does lead us to our main event of the evening in the middleweight division. We got a title match. Champion Isaiah, the Puerto Rican pretty boy Quinones, going up against number 1 ranked Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux. And this is, if you've seen this before, yeah, you have. This is the second matchup between these two in as many fights. Let's get into the nitty gritty, huh? Quinones 4-2 in Power Slap with a 4-match win streak right now. He is hot. He is hot. He won his championship. He defended it, and he's defending it here again tonight. That's what we like to see. The second match. Whoops, sorry, that was a wrong one. But Quinones did win the last one with a round 2 KO. And so I think that is something we do need to keep in mind here. Bordeaux with a very respectable record at 3-1-1, with the one loss coming from Quinones at Power Slap 10. And he's not won by KO. That's my big issue with Bordeaux is he's not won by KO. He has won only by decision and then by ref stoppage for fouls. And that is a scary thing when you're going into a title fight here. Yes, he can go the distance. He can take punishment, but can he take 5 rounds of punishment? He couldn't last time. Can he do it this time? We'll have to see, but it's not the sexiest pick in the world. But I like Isaiah Quinones at the -200 right here to retain the middleweight title here, making it his 5th match win in a row here in Power Slap and his second since winning the title. So let's go ahead and roll through all my picks today. This match kind of got thrown together. Let me talk about it real quick. I forgot about it. This will be early on in the card tonight. And at first, I thought this fight was canceled because it was James the Iron Chin Siekman going up against Aaron Turner, but Siekman pulling out for some reason. I could not find out exactly why. I probably was just Googling the wrong thing between you and me, but that's just between you and me. But Aaron Turner taking a fight against Wes Mania here. Mania minus the 145, Turner plus the 110. Hold on. Turner is 1-0 in his Power Slap career with a KO in the second round. And he does, at least with Siekman, he had the height advantage. This is a tall dude dealing with here. Let me check one thing real quick. And I'll give you a pick on this one. There we go. Nope, not what I wanted. All right, Mania is 0-1 in Power Slap right now. Nope, I lied to you. That is his MMA career. He is 3-0 in Power Slap right now and going up against Aaron Turner here. And you're seeing him at a minus 145 on the money line here. And that makes a lot of sense. And I do think we're going to start off the night a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Chalky. There we go, as we're getting into March Madness. But I'll take Wes Mania minus the 145, let it ride for the first day. But let's go ahead and go through the picks one more time. I got Wes Mania minus 145 on the money line. Anthony DeFrank minus the 180. Michelle Brown over Paige Van Zant at plus 245. Ponapau at plus 135 against Dorian Perez. Christopher DeBow going up against Christopher Thomas. I got DeBow at plus the 210. Wesley Drain minus the 410 against Khalil Kanakoa. I hope I'm saying that name right. And then Robert Trujillo minus the 195 against Dakota McGregor, retaining the lightweight title. And then Isaiah Quinones retaining as well at minus 200 against Brandon Bador. And if you're really curious, it's an 8-leg parlay plus 25,000 odds. I mean, that's not a bad way to go with it. But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone watching over on YouTube, X, and Rumble here. Appreciate all of you, the love and support. If you like what we're cooking here, please hit that like button, hit that follow button. It helps us out a lot more than you know. But with all that being said, thank you all again for listening and watching. I am the Brofict one, AJ. Enjoy Power Slap 12 tonight. Good luck. God bless. I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.